This is lesson 2.6 for pre-algebra. Lesson 2.6 is solving equations using multiplication and division. So you have some key steps. It's very similar to addition and subtraction. However, if it's multiplication that you're looking at in the problem, you divide each side by the coefficient. So here's an example. If it is 4x equals 20, this is multiplication right here, 4 times x, that's multiplication. So what you do is you divide each side by the coefficient. Remember, the coefficient is the number next to the letter. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And then you'd see that x equals 5. All right, if it's division, you multiply each side by the number in the denominator of the fraction. So if it looks like this, x over 3 equals 10. If this is a division problem, just like this, x over 3, you multiply each side by the denominator. So you multiply each side by 3, multiply each side by 3, and that will give you your answer. All right, so 288 pens are boxed by the dozen. How many boxes are needed? So you have 288 pens, and you're going to divide them into 12 or a dozen boxes. So then you want to figure out what x is. So you just do 288 divided by 12, which equals 24 boxes. Very simple problem. So now here's a problem that you will see many times. Okay, so this says negative 2v equals negative 24. So look at this beginning part, and you have to decide, is that multiplication or division? Well, that is multiplication, so I'm going to do the opposite of that, and I'm going to divide by the number in front of the v. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 2. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 equals 1. So then I'm left with 1v equals negative 24 divided by negative 2 is 12. Now, a lot of times people don't put this 1v on there because it's just it's the identity property of multiplication. So they just write v equals 12. And then you can check your answer just like we did in the addition and subtraction video. You put it in here. Negative 2 times 12 equals negative 24. So I know I got it correct. So try these on your own. They look a little too close together. Push pause and then we'll go over them. All right, so this is 4x equals 84. So what I'm going to do, and just like in the other video where I drew the line, you can do that also, just to divide the two sides. You divide both sides by 4, so x equals 21. This one, I divide both sides by negative 7. Divide both sides by negative 7. So 91 divided by 7, negative 7 is negative 13 equals y. And then this one, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. So b equals 24 divided by negative 3 is negative 8. All right, so here is a division problem, and it says x over 8 equals negative 5. So this is division, so I'm going to do the opposite of division. I'm going to rewrite my problem. You need to be writing the examples down, remember. And I'm going to multiply both sides by the denominator. So that side gets multiplied by 8, and this side gets multiplied by 8. Now, why I do that is because if I were to multiply this out, this would be 8 over 1. And if I multiplied that times x over 8, I would get 8x over 8, which simplifies because I can divide 8 divided by 8, and that just equals x. So that's why you multiply by the denominator to get rid of it so that you're just left with what's on top, the numerator. So x equals negative 40. All right, so try these on your own. There we go, much better. And then come back and we'll get started. We'll go over them. All right, so for this one, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 5 to get rid of that denominator. So r equals negative 50. For this one, I am going to multiply both sides by 6 because that is my denominator again. So s equals 54 times 6, which I don't know, 324. And then this last one, I'm going to multiply both sides by 20. Multiply both sides by 20. So that is t equals negative 600. All right, now try these 5 equations on your own, and if you get them all correct, then you're doing it properly, and we can come back and go over them in class. So try these 5 and then I'll go over them. Okay, welcome back. So for this one, I am going to divide both sides by 8. So x equals negative 6. You can check your answer by putting it in for x. Do 8 times negative 6 and you'll get negative 48. This one, I am going to divide both sides by negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 2. So x equals negative 9. Negative 2 times negative 9 equals positive 18. So that's checked. Here I am going to divide both sides by 9. There's no negatives, so it makes it a little bit easier. So then I know that x equals 12. 9 times 12 is 118, or 108, sorry. Here I am going to multiply both sides by negative 3, so times by negative 3. So v equals 14 times negative 3, which is negative 42. Negative 42 divided by negative 3 would give me a positive 14. So that is checked. And then lastly, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. Negative 6 times 4 is negative 24 equals n. I'm going to plug that back in right there. Negative 24 divided by 4 is negative 6. All right, that's it for your notes.